Hi, and welcome to Geeks for Geeks. Today, we would be discussing the problem winner of the election. So, this problem requires you to have a pen and paper. And if you analyze this with a pen and paper, like how this needs to be done, the algorithm or the intuition is very easy to find out. So, here in this question, you are given the names of candidates, okay, and it is just like you can think of that you are given a ballot, okay, and it's the name written on the chits, okay. So what do we really happen? So let's say if an election is going on inside Geeks for Geeks, so let's say if two people have elected Siddharth and one people have elected Yash. So if I see Siddharth two times, this means that Siddharth has been chosen two times and Yash has been chosen one time. So Siddharth would win the election. And Yash is Yash Dwivedi itself. So I don't know how many of you still remember. So if you still remember Yash Dwivedi and you miss him, give me a quick heads up because I too miss him. So fair enough. Let's go to this. Here we are told that this is just like this thing. So here we are told that we are first getting a John. Okay. Then we have Johnny. Okay. The names are absolutely very weird. And then we have Jackie. Okay. Then we have Johnny again. So Johnny would now have a count of two, and these all people would have a count of one. Fair enough. And then we have Johnny again, and then we have John again. So John would now have a count of two. And then we have Jackie. So Jackie would now have a count of two. Then we have Jamie. Jamie would now have a count of one. Then Jamie again. So count of two. Then we have John. So the count is three. Then we have Johnny. The count is again three. And then we have Jamie. The count is three. Then we have again Johnny. So the count is four. And then we have John. The count is again four. So now if you observe that these two people have a tie in between. And now this doesn't really happen in real life. Again, a re-election is done. But here you are told which, like, let's say there are two peoples with the same vote, then the lexicographically smaller one would be the winner. What I meant is that if you order them in a dictionary, the one which comes first would be the winner. This is what is asked. So, if you see, this would be after Johnny would be after John. So, John is winning with how much votes? 4 votes. Okay, this is good enough. So, now as you have done it here, it is very easy to understand that we need to keep a count, that we need to remember the count. So, whenever we come to the conclusion that we need to remember something, then the idea is to use something known as hashing. Okay, and then you also need to have a counter. What I meant is, let's say the counter is 1, and as of now, the string name is the string that is winning is ABC. Then again, a counter of again 1 is received, and this time the string is ABB. So if someone else, we have a greater count of someone else, then we would assign the lower value. We would keep a count and a string variable explicitly, and we would start hashing the values. This is what we would do. Let's move back to the implementation because it would make more sense. So to hash the values of the string, we would be using something known as unordered map with the first as string. See, this value is a string itself and this is an integer value. So I would be having string and int and I would be naming it as MP. And then what I would be doing is I would be hashing all the values of A first. So MP of E, and then I would be just hashing. And then I would have a count is equals to 0. Okay. Count is equals to 0 and the string of an answer variable is this. Okay. Now this would be my answer. Now we would start iterating of auto E dash MP and string candidate is equals to E dot first and string vote is equals to E dot second. Fair enough? Now at this point, if the current vote of this particular candidate is more than we have up till now, that is we have initialized to 0, then we would initialize it directly. That is C is equals to the vote of the candidate, and then the string answer would be the candidate's name. Else if the vote of the candidate is equals to what we have already up till now, here we would assign the lexicographically lower value. So I would say answer is equals to min of answer, comma, the candidate. And then at the very end of answer, and then we would convert it to the string, and then this value would be the count. Okay. Now let us just compare and see how many errors are we making. So what I need to do is we would say auto it is equals to MP. This should be an integer. And now let us see. Okay, so the small edit was I was using a for each loop here. So I just boiled down to just using the regular loop, not the for each loop. And rest everything is same. The only second mistake was this was just I copied it to string again, but the second value is an integer. That is why this should also be an integer. Now let us submit this and see how many errors are we getting. And yes, we got an AC. That's it for today. Thank you and have a nice day.